Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
4-3-3-2 when they play each other here. Yeah, you can lead it.
All right. Hello and welcome. The final day of the season proper has arrived in the Senol NPL Victoria men's competition. A treat for you today, second versus third. It's a finals dress rehearsal between Avondale and Hume. Looking forward to seeing how these sides build on their recent momentum into the 2026 finals. Avondale have been buoyed by Bruno Fornaroli braces in each of their last two fixtures on the road, and now back at Avenger Park where they've had no problem scoring goals and can boast the best home form in the competition this campaign. Hume arrive on the back of 3-game winning streak, and at a venue where they've never tasted victory though, after a convincing win in their previous meeting between these sides this season. Can Nick Hegarty's Hume repeat the dose this afternoon? Looking forward to your company. I'm Steve Curtin, and with me is a man who's pleased to be calling in the afternoon because he saw the sparks fly last week in a match that wasn't that close. That's a whole nother story though, but welcome to the call, Adam Sarakoglu.
Thank you, Steve Curtin, and yes, very glad to be here. What a lovely day it is to end the regular season in Senol NPL Victoria. Two teams that we're looking forward to seeing, obviously, in the finals campaign, albeit today, Steve, not really playing for anything. Hume is officially going to finish second, and with the massive gap in goal difference that Avondale has over the teams around them, they are pretty much locked into third, which then leads into some of the squad and team changes that we've seen take place here today. We can see the coin toss happening right now between Bruno Fornaroli and Josh Bingham, who gets a start today. He is one of the changes for Nick Hegarty. So 4 changes for Avondale, 5 for Hume City. Some big names missing for both sides.
Yeah, it's a lot of changes for sure. For Jonathan Germano, we see Carpenter, Trycheski and Green all drop to the bench. There's no Jacob Muir in the squad today. So Gibson in goal. It's Dylan Jakupi, Marcus Furkranis, Murphy Bennett, Adama Traore in defence. In midfield, it's Saad Mukashar, Yite Towns, Patrick Wall and Ayuk Mo on the flanks. And George Ott is recalled to the starting 11 to line up alongside Bruno Fornaroli, who last week equalled Bull Jouach's 22 goals in the season that Jouach scored last year. Bruno looking to break that score today to make it 23. But as you mentioned, Adam, 5 changes. Bayou and DeBelle dropping to the bench. There's no Engelhart, Shrivers or Zahi Addis, so we've got Chris Oldfield in goal. Koda Kadua, Aidan Coyne comes back into the team. Munir Badous, Josh O'Kane, Steve White, Burkhan Kurda, Kalen Ashar, Max Wright starting on the flank, Josh Bingham up front, and there's a start for the youngster wearing the number 20. It's Abdul Latif Freeha getting an opportunity, and plenty of young faces on the bench as well. We'll go through that shortly, but it looks like it's going to be Avondale getting us underway in their all-blue kit against the all-red of Hume, and Avondale playing towards the city end of the venue. Our referee is Adam Bavkar.
So, well, the Golden Boot winner in waiting was there to take the kickoff, but didn't take the kickoff. Yite Towns just boots it away. A bit of an unusual start to this game. All 14 teams in Senol NPL Victoria now in action. Final day of the season. Melbourne's turned on a beauty in late August, as Murphy Bennett plays back to Jack Gibson in goal in the all-orange for Avondale. Two teams that are locked into their positions on the table. In theory, it's probably the pick of the games of the weekend in Senol NPL Victoria. There's not much else left to play out. In terms of final spots, there is a battle between Heidelberg and the Georgies in their respective fixtures to try and claim 6th. Heidelberg have the advantage there. Early foul given away. Adam Bavkar's our referee here. Just had a small word with Yite Towns. And a little slow to get up is Steve White. But he will be okay. Burkhan Kurda, who does love a dead ball.
Does he ever? He's last week scored and assisted from the dead ball, but there's no Taylor Shrivers out there to tee up in the air this time, Adam. So it will be Kurda to deliver this one a little bit further out. What can he conjure up here? It's away by Saad Mukashar. It's going to come back to Kurda again. Steve White has had his kick charge down. Lucks of fortune as it ricocheted back to him. Good touch by Kurda, but well closed down by Ute Towns. Kurtar continuing his run, looking for Bingham. It's a little touch here, and it's all going to open up for Youssef across the face. It's blocked. It's still there for Hume. It's Kota Kadua. Squares it for Kurtar, and it's away by Ayuk Mo. So a chance for Patrick Wall to steam forward, trying to pick out Ute Towns. And here is the big Kiwi, George Ott. He's got Bruno Fornaroli down the left, and Patrick Wall is charging forward. Wall and Mo and Ott all relishing the opportunity to get a chance in the starting 11 this afternoon after spending a lot of time on the bench of late.
It's ostensibly a dress rehearsal for the finals. If certain results play out next week, Hume's first opponent in the finals could very easily be Avondale. And still on Jacoby on this right side. First entry into the box for Avondale of any meaning here. George Ott was forced to come in from behind to try to just wrest back that ball. Avondale will get the throw at least. Hume City scoring a 3-0 win against Avondale in what was Hume's first win against Avondale since 2017. Earlier this season, they're able to get things back under control. They had that stretch just a little less than a month ago where they had a 3-game losing streak and a draw in there as well before getting things back on track. They're on a 3-game winning streak, as Steve Curtin did mention. You see Josh Bingham here gets his start today. Not a regular starter these days. He's 14th of the season. It's just a little more than half of the total available starts for Bingham. And scored 5 goals this season. Burkan Kurtar in outstanding form of late, with 7 goals to his name. But Bruno Fornaroli, what a revelation he's been, as we would expect for a man of his ilk to come into NPL Victoria. And he will be the Golden Boot winner this season. Still some conjecture, Steve, around how many goals he actually has officially got to his name, because Dribble has one number, but
definitely a mistake on Dribble in the game 2 rounds ago, giving a goal incorrectly to Max Green from the penalty spot. And there's no way Max Green to be stepping up to the penalty spot when Bruno's on the pitch. So that proves how much that is incorrect. So 22 goals is the number, not 21. And as we said in the pre-match, it equals Bourgeois Archer's total last season, which included the finals football. So Bruno, who turns 39 in 9 days' time during the final series, has the chance to overshadow that 22-goal haul in NPL Victoria by Bourgeois last season, which is an incredible feat.
So a foul given away near the halfway line.
We've got our first goal gone in around the grounds, Adam, and it's at Churchill Reserve. If you want to watch St Albans versus Dandy Thunder in suspense later on, turn off your volume now. It's a goal for the host there. As you'd probably imagine, the favoured team in that one have taken the lead in front of the hill at Fox Street.
So the 6 can change between the Georgies and Heidelberg United. The 2 games of most interest in that respect here today. So you make an entry in, Youssef playing back. Rita Badous couldn't really do anything with it though. Now Yukmo for Jacoby. Flag instantly goes up as we saw Patrick Wall advance forward. Chris Oldfield in goal for Hume City. And the appearances he has made this season has not missed a start. The veteran in goal back at Hume City this season. This is Kurtar. And Adus, who is under a fair bit of pressure from the other man wearing number 17 today, Yukmo.
Good opportunity for the youngster Anthony Youssef in the number 22 there for Hume, getting his first start for the senior side today. He's scored a couple of goals in the under-23s from just 9 appearances, 7 starts. So given the chance to play down the left flank this afternoon with Adisu Bayo, who would usually be in that role, and he's the leading scorer for the boys in red, starting from the bench today. Hume and Nick Hegarty deciding to rotate the pack a little bit today, despite them earning a week off in the first week of the finals next week. Here's Bennett, who's lining up in the centre of the defence today. He's started as a right back last week in the match at Paisley Park. Welsh Youth International. You've promised about his football. Deuce with the clearance. As far as Jakupi. Back at the club where he spent so much time in recent years after a brief stint at the North Sunshine Eagles. A little reverse pass is aimed at George Ott, but the experienced Chris Oldfield can escort that one over the byline. And Chris Oldfield was actually involved when Hume got their only ever away win against Avondale, a 2-1 win. That was played not here, but at Knight Stadium back in 2016. Chris Oldfield featured in that one. Nick Hegarty was playing, and Shane Rex Heppy as well was playing for Hume, of course, in the Avondale dugout this afternoon. They were coached by that day by Zoran Markovski. But never a win at this venue for Hume. And they're only, the last time they scored a point here was in 2021. They led that match by 2 goals in stoppage time, only to be mown down with very, very late goals by Zinni and Lundy, both scoring in injury time after Josh Bingham had got things going. A goal for Brennan and an own goal by Phil Rekabene, helping Hume to a decent cushion, but they couldn't hang on for a win, and they've still yet to register a win at this venue.
Hume City fans all too used to late drama, Steve, including last week with the late penalty for Chris Englehart, who will not feature today.
It's been a rollicking run, hasn't it, for Hume? The last 3 matches, 3 wins, all by the odd goal. And they've had a 5-4, they've had a 3-2, and late goals, late drama. The most academic of those wins was the 1-0 win against Melbourne City the week prior to those 2 high-octane clashes. Here's George Ott dropping deep. Traore, the mid-season signing, another veteran in this Avondale team, looks to switch the play. That's a bit of Dylan Jakupi, but he shows an excellent first touch, and his ball is not equal to that. Will this be the last time we see Dylan Jakupi out there in the Avondale shirt? .31 years of age. Still got a bit of running in those legs left still.
Only his 3rd start of the season today. Here he is again. He's been prominent early. Back to Jack Gibson. So we've had now a second goal, and it's a big one in the context of the final 6. Caroline Springs, George Cross have a lead against South Melbourne. And it's a fixture that Avondale will be half interested in. Avondale pretty much locked into 3rd, so they're quite interested in who does finish 6th on the table. So when you plug that into the live table there, Steve, what does that show us?
So it's only goal difference that Heidelberg leads Georges by now. So
there you go.
It's getting tight for that 6th spot.
0-0 between Heidelberg and Bentley Greens as we speak.
Bentley, of course, needing to overcome a massive amount of goal difference and hope for a Altona Magic loss to survive, but their fate is virtually sealed that they'll be playing in the VPL 1 next season. Will Adam Piddick be there next season, or will he be somewhere else? Will he be here? Who knows? But we do know that Jonathan Germano has announced that he's stepping down. Is there a chance? Traore went to ground. It was Max Wright who was galloping forward, showing a good yard of pace. And here's Jakupi hoping to play a better ball than his previous, but this one is a turnover straight to Mooney Badus. Here's a chance for Ike Mo. He's just going to try and enjoy a bit of possession here for his Avenger side. For Kranis, Mukashar in a good pocket of space in the centre of Avenger Park. No one really mounting a good challenge on either goal in the opening minutes here. Yusuf, White. I heard on the recent club podcast from Hume that he struggles with Achilles tendinopathy during his stint at the Melbourne Knights, and his joy in being able to overcome that and get some good help from good physiotherapy and get back out there, and it's good to see him back playing again this season. He's probably still not quite been at 100%, but you can see the quality that he's had through his career, coming down originally with Ben Khan from Queensland, originally coming from the Central Coast of New South Wales. So he's travelled around the East Coast, and He's enjoying himself at Broadmeadows this season as Steve White. Certainly enjoying it more than being in the relegation zone with the Knights last year. We will see the Knights in the top flight next season. Exciting to see top flight coming back to Summer Street again for season 2027 in the Senol NPL Victoria.
Such an iconic place in Victorian football. It's good that we're going to be seeing top flight football back there again.
Another goal around the grounds, Adam. Very inconsequential, but Melbourne City have taken the lead down at Casey Fields against the relegated Green Gully side.
And St Albans have just doubled their lead as well against Dandenong Thunder. So Dynamo off to a good start against the relegated Thunder. They've gone from making finals to dropping down.
It's quite a fall from grace when you think where they were this time last year. Only just
hosting a final against
only
Heidelberg,
just
of course.
In that Dandy Derby, yeah. And then, of course, it was Dandy City who went from there and came here in the prelim and knocked out Avondale, who were red-hot favourites that day in that match that was the Premier's Plate winners, 1v6. So there's nothing you can take for granted in the Senol NPL Victoria final series. Looking forward to that getting underway next week. Catch all those games on the NPL Victoria YouTube live stream. 2 big elimination finals next week and 2 big prelim finals the following week. There's a problem here for George Ott, who's remained on the turf after pulling up a little bit short. So this is disappointing. He's been biding his time. He hasn't had a start for a few weeks. He remained on the bench for the entire 90 at Paisley Park last week, but the trainer is charging out there, Lyndon Lee, with the medical kit bag to offer some assistance to George Ott. Hopefully, Adam, he can continue for the rest of this first half at least.
Yep, Avondale don't have the luxury of a week off next week. Hume City does.
It'd be a big loss if he wasn't available for next week. Even if he is coming off the bench, he gives you that variety in your attack. He gives you that depth to come on off the bench, and if something's not working with Bruno Fornarola, you've got that very different profile of attacker that can come on, and we've seen how successful he's been at this level with St Albans previously and here at Avondale as well.
He was an unused sub last week against Altona Magic, George Ott.
Wow, St Albans now 3 goals to the good at Churchill Reserve, so it does seem like the Thunder have thrown in the towel for this season, that relegated outfit from George Andrews Reserve.
They don't have the luxury of being able to turn the lights off.
They ran out of power last week and they've continued this afternoon.
Surely there's better ways to stop Oakley than that. Oakley now officially Premiers. Can't believe, Steve, only the second time in the NPL era that Oakley have actually won the Premiers Plate. That was a stat that kind of shocked me, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and they've been so consistent. They managed to claim the championship a couple of years ago, beating maybe a more fancied South Melbourne side who'd come through winning the Premiers Plate that year. But they've been so good from some of those positions in the middle of the finals, but this year they'll be the ones that everyone wants to beat after winning the Premiers Plate. And, well, with that does come pressure, and we saw with Avondale last year, they were bounced out in that preliminary final by the team that finished 6th in Dandy City, as we were saying before.
Oakley are going for their 3rd championship in 5 tries this year. It's a 1 year on, 1 year off sort of arrangement for them. Oakley today playing at home to Dandenong City. Yeah, that's exactly right. 1 year on, 1 year off for CT's men. But yes, only their second. I think it was 2021, their prior Premiers Plate in the NPL era did win a VPL Premiership in 2006. So, you know what they say, some are just better operators in September when it matters in the finals. That would be the case for Oakley. Hume City, we're hoping they can make something happen. They get the week off, which is not something that they're used to. We see them often featuring in the postseason, Steve, but they've never finished this high up the table. And this for them is really just a dress rehearsal. There's a decent chance that their first opponent in the finals will indeed be Avondale. if results go somewhat to script.
And it does seem that neither manager wants to show their hand today, Adam. They're keeping their cards close to their chest. But yeah, when they were both full strength, when it was all on the line last time, it was that convincing 3-0 win. Adisubai with a double. Frank Busasa, who's now left the club, also scoring that day for Hume City out at Broadmeadows Valley Park, or Nasiol Stadium as it's known for commercial regions these days. Murray trying to find a way through. Here's Milkishar, the first time pass. It's lumped forward by Steve White onto the head of Bennett. A little bit of a shove from Ayuk Mo, and Adam Babkar was alert to that one. Adam Babkar assisted today on either side of the pitch by Josh Berry and Thomas Rushton. Lazaros Pantelides is the fourth official standing in the full tracksuit. He hasn't cracked out the shorts today, despite the nice sunshine. He's the fourth official standing right in front of our broadcast position on the Tullamarine Freeway side of Avenger Park. Traore is going to get to this one first. Bennett is inside. So it's a game that's lacked a bit of dynamism in the final third for both sides in the first 18 minutes. Can Wright get a good ball into the box here? There's no one home for Hume at the back post. I think that just underlines what we were just saying, Adam.
It's got that feel about it of being a dress rehearsal. It is second v third, and still plenty of quality on the park. It's a shame that goal difference, Steve, in all different parts of the table have rendered a lot of the fixtures a little bit irrelevant. There's a battle for sixth spot, and there's been a development there. Heidelberg have gone 1-0 up at home to Bentley Greens. And so they are in the box seat to finish in sixth. Looks like Johnny A will get them into the postseason this year after what has been a really up and down year for the reigning champs.
Well, it'd be good to finish with 2 wins in a row after they've gone the entire winter without a win until last week. What a great goal by the mid-season signing Christian Theoharis. He hasn't offered a lot since he joined in the mid-season. High expectations for him coming in from the Central Coast Mariners, but stunning goal by him last week at Lakeside on a picture-perfect Sunday afternoon that made it a memorable afternoon for Heidelberg. Their first win in such a long time in the league. And as it stands now, on the live ladder, we'll be seeing most likely next Saturday here at Avenger Park, Avondale versus Heidelberg. And it's a bit of a rivalry between those two sides of recent years. As the ball comes into the box, they couldn't find George Ott, who recovered from an injury scare midway through the opening minutes of this one. It's like he's back up and running at full strength, and just as I say that, he's gone back to the floor. So commentators curse at full swing there regarding the health of George Ott. So doesn't look too good for the New Zealander. The second time in this first 20 minutes that he's gone down to the floor, and I wonder if Jonathan Germano might be looking to make some options from the subs bench. You can see to our left that the subs are warming up. Those available options are Adam Zimmerino, who we haven't seen a lot of lately. The former Brisbane Roar attacker came on off the bench last week at Paisley Park. Max Green, Blake Carpenter, Christian Trycheski, Emlyn Wellsmore, all available as the outfield options. They've got Big Michael Weir as the sub-keeper on the bench. Nick Hegarty, plenty of depth on his bench in attacking stocks. Adisu Bayu, Godfrey DeBalle in particular. Aiki Tsukamoto, who's a player we haven't seen too much of, the 21-year-old who came across from the Eastern Lions after coming across before that from across the Nullarbor. Impressed for Hume earlier in the season, haven't seen him for a while. Good to see him back. Baranjam Kavak as well, another one that came on off the bench last week. And the youngster from the under-18s, Abdul Latif Freer. Well, there's the number 20, waiting for his chance to come on as well for a senior debut for Hume City.
Yeah, not a bad way to make a senior debut against quality opposition. There is going to be a substitution for Avondale. Adam Zimmerino is going to be coming on for George Ott, and that is an early development as we start to build the narrative for the final series. George Ott has barely lasted 20 minutes, with the next fixture 7 days away for Avondale.
Yeah, as we said earlier, that's disappointing news. It's such a weapon of a player to be able to deploy to come on off the bench or try and use in the starting 11. So he's over there on the sidelines. He's just sat himself back there on the grass. So we'll just keep an eye on what the trainer is having a look at to try and do our own very vague and approximate prognosis of what might be the problem here for George Ott.
I wonder if in a more meaningful game he would still be out there. Maybe just not taking any risks in a game that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it is possible. So they're just feeling around the left knee or just below the left knee. Hard to see from here, as I'm not qualified in this industry, Adam. I'm not going to try and make a speculative call on what it might be, but they are just, it does look like it's a knee-related complaint for George Ott.
Second goal for Heidelberg United against Bentley.
So, John Anastasiadis, his team seem to have laid the golden egg in the last couple of weeks. Zimmerino, fresh off the bench. Jacupi providing the overlap. All about the quality of the cross here for Fornaroli in the box. He couldn't quite connect with the cross. Decent ball in by Jacupi, and a good first impact by Adam Zimmerino. He only has one senior goal since joining the club in the off-season, which came against Green Gully. He scored 4 in the 23s. Could he strike a telling blow today? Here's Mukashar, man who joined in the mid-season from Spartak Varna in the Bulgarian League over there by the Black Sea. Good to see him back in the Victorian football competition again after being a handy player at Paisley Park last season. So this is definitely a different look defence here for Avondale with no Flotman, no Muir out there as well, and of course Reed is out injured as well, and that's across the face by Wall. Patrick Wall with just about the first shot in anger, I think, this afternoon. Didn't force Chris Oldfield into a save.
Still 0-0 between Preston and Altona, with the points deficit that Preston have. Steve, I believe there is a scenario where it could be Preston coming here next week. Minus 12 now, as we know, for Preston.
That is something that's up in the air, especially if
they would be second without it.
If Heidelberg can manage the win and move up the table. And it's a massive deduction, 12 points off the season total for Preston.
Preston coming here. We know what happened last time. Preston Lions came here. One of the more chaotic games of the season at Avenger Park. We could get a rematch of that next week. All right, now we're looking at Mo going back to Kranis. In the middle of the pitch is Bukacha, former Altona man, going out wide. Now Mo. Neither keeper really been tested yet. Mo has a crack. It's well over the top of the crossbar. Chris Oldfield not overly happy about the ease with which Mo could take that shot. And it remains 0-0 here.
Yeah, a couple of attempts on goal for Avondale. The first two that they've had coming in the space of the last few minutes. So it's definitely, we talked about the different look defence for Avondale, but it's a very makeshift looking defence for Hume without Taylor Shrivers. Obviously Aaron Calver has been an excellent defender for them, but he's made tracks across over to New Zealand to an opportunity with Auckland. The A-League outfit giving him another opportunity at that level, professional level. So yeah, well deserved. Aaron Calver, who's been quality in NPL Victoria this season. Hayden Coyne, a handy player to have come back. We've seen his versatility. He's lining up in central defence today, but we've seen him play as a right back. We've seen him play as a defensive midfielder as well, which has probably been the position that he's excelled in this season. And alongside him, it's a player that I haven't seen too much of, Kalen Achar, the 19-year-old, getting a chance to line up in the centre of the defence. So big opportunity for him to impress in that position today.
Cronus. Bennett. Avondale been a bit more keen to press so far in these first now 27 minutes. Cronus will go again. It's House. He's only missed one start among his appearances this year. Morkicha to Bennett. A patient game here for Avondale, forced into an early sub. George Ott has pulled up lame. Zimmerino's on for him. The old proverbial race against time for George Ott now to be up for the final next week. He's got 7 days to get up for that. Avondale will be here on Saturday. We believe it will be this time next week. These are two teams that like the Saturday afternoon time slot.
You mentioned the likelihood of an opportunity that could be played here against Preston rather than Heidelberg next week. Not many teams have come here and had a win, but Preston, as you say, they did that in that dramatic game, 3-2, and that winning goal coming so late in that one.
Fornaroli on the ball right now. Mukacha. Towns with a couple of options over to the left. Traore, one of them. Patrick Walls in for what is his first start for Avondale. Coming over from North Geelong Warriors back in June. So, no Taylor Shrivers in the squad entirely alongside Zahiadis for Hume City today, and Chris Engelhardt as well, who scored a penalty to get the win late last week against George Cross. Jacob Muir out of the squad entirely for Avondale. And some good players on the bench. Max Green, Blake Carpenter, and Lynn Wellsmore among the available subs today for Jonathan Germano. And as we know, it will be no longer coaching Avondale once their campaign's over, which makes it fascinating. Just how deep could they go with the coach that's already been announced to not be returning next year? Plenty of little side plots as we get to the pointy end of the Senol NPL Victoria season. We're watching two teams here that are going to play a big role in how this championship race ultimately unfolds. It's been a great year for Hume City under Nick Hegarty. They are locked into second.
You can see Hume, they're just sitting so deep now. It's just like Josh Bingham up top, and then there's just 2 blocks of 4, not much space between the lines. Sitting right back in front of Chris Oldfield's goal, inviting a lot of pressure, and you feel like if they keep dropping and dropping back like this, it's only a matter of time before Avondale are able to open the scoring here. And Jacoupy's got forward from right back in this advanced position down near the digital scoreboard. Mo can deliver the cross if he decides to. Mukuchar looking for Zimmerino. It just came off Hume City foot, and back to Chris Oldfield. No questions of the back pass there, very much accidental. So Hume survive again. Is there the incisiveness there for Avondale to grab a goal before half-time? But they've certainly had their much superior dominance of both territory and possession in the last 15 or even 20 minutes. Hume started with a couple of promising moments in the wide areas. And the youngster Yusuf working with Mooney Badous down this broadcast side, and Max Wright getting his chance over on the far side, on the right flank. And here is Adus. Steve White with the first-time pass. Achar. Adus picks up a good pocket of space there, and he can turn and play forward. He's got Yusuf wide left. Looks to get the cross in on the right foot, all the way to the back post. Max Wright is out there. So is Kota Kadua. Scrapping for the ball with Adama Traore. veteran fullback and more of a young up-and-coming fullback, Kota Kadua. Just wonder what trajectory his career might have taken had he not done his ACL out at Ironbark Fields when he was making one of his early appearances for Western United at A-League level. He's come through the rehabilitation journey and he's had a pretty decent season as a fullback out at Broadmeadows. Still only 23 years of age, so plenty of football ahead of him. Kota Kadua, or 22 should I say, turns 23 next month. Helps out working at the family egg delivery company when he's not playing football. Can he deliver something special today though for Hume and the Hume fans who've come here to Parkville this afternoon?
Some pressure on Jack Gibson with Josh Bingham closing in. Bingham not a regular starter these days. Josh O'Kane went down in the area. The shot's going to be taken by White. No, it wasn't O'Kane, it was actually Max Wright.
So you got two different coloured boots on Max Wright. I don't know, it's just those the modern kind that have the colour on the inside and the outside opposing each other.
It's like the laces are a different colour almost. Fluoro yellow with some sort of orange lace maybe.
It looks like orange and yellow from over this side of the pitch.
It does look that way. It's got the ball here, plays it toward Erkan Kurta. Mukacha gets in his way. Nice crowd in on the final day of the season. 7 games of Senol NPL Victoria, all happening as we speak. Melbourne's turned on an absolute beauty. So back to goal for Bingham. Then Kurta came crashing through. A little patchy for Hume City to pin it in deep. They've been happy, as Steve has mentioned, to sit back and just let Avondale knock it around a little bit. That's changed in the last couple of minutes here. Hume City just pressing that a little bit more, trying to apply some pressure on Jack Gibson. Maybe get on the board here. The throw came toward Bingham. Nothing happened from there.
Hume just trying to get those extra bodies forward. Kota Kadua and Mooney Badus, the two fullbacks, get them involved in the attacks. Steve White and Josh O'Kane trying to push a little higher up the park. And Avondale deciding to go direct. Well played by Coyne, who manages to scrap with Fornaroli and get the ball away. And he can play forward here. Max Wright through Steve White. And now Kadua over on the far side. O'Kane making the running ahead of him. Dama Traore was coming through like a steam train and made the initial challenge, and eventually it's out of play for a Hume throw over there in front of the fans, shielding their eyes from the setting sun over there on the far side. I won't say setting sun just yet, it's only 3:36 local time. I think the sunset's still about 2 hours away now, at least now, enjoying the slightly longer days in late August here. Achar. This is Coyne. Great seeing Aidan Coyne back in the Hume lineup. He's been another great addition to their squad. And Kurta with a little back heel for Max Wright. And it's deflected out for a corner. Well, that's the best moment that Hume have had this afternoon. Good ingenuity in the penalty area. And they earn a well-deserved corner kick from that one. So Steve White over to take the in-swinger. Taking plenty of time just to tee this one up nicely as he looks into the sun. Bingham to be the obvious target at the back post area. Gibson claims it on the second bite of the cherry. Oh, a little bit anticlimactic, that set piece opportunity for Hume.
Mukacha. Back for Bennett. Traore. It's been kept alive nicely by right. Hume City again will go on the attack. It's a looping ball for Yusuf. Karanis tracked it back as well for Avondale. Can Hume City capitalise off this little purple patch? Approaching half time. Mehdi Badous will take the throw. Kurta dispossessed by Mukicha. The throw has been awarded to Avondale. Jakupi, one of 4 changes for Jonathan Gamano today. Next screen, Blake Carpenter, Christian Trajewski, and Jacob Muir. The last of which Muir not in the squad entirely. They are the players that have made way from the side that scored a 2-0 win at Altona last week. And Coyne, you can see him back for Hume City today, going back to Oldfield. Right down for Adus, and now it's Josh Bingham. Adus providing some help, but a lot of pressure coming from Ute Towns, and he won the duel eventually. Avondale playing in from the back again. It's been a major theme of this first half. An early concern for them, an early substitution for George Ott not long after the 20-minute mark. He looked proppy for a few minutes prior to officially being subbed out. It's Fornaroli, one out up front right now. Zimmerino in there helping him a little bit. He was the player that came on, Zimmerino, for George Ott. Out for a goal kick here.
They've probably looked better since Adam Zimmerino came into the attack, actually coming on for George Ott. He's given them a little bit of more dynamic play and a bit more unpredictability. As Hume side has been happy to sit back and absorb pressure a lot of this first half. Trying to get themselves on the front foot here. Bingham's passes aimed at Kurta, but it was cut out by Mukasha, and he's given it back here, though. This could be a problem for Avondale. Burkhardt Kurta into the penalty area. Can he get onto his right foot? And it's well blocked. Good recovering challenge by Saad Mukasha, who puts his hand up as if to say, my bad, boys, but I've got back and done my best to make up for it. Playing in that deep-lying midfield role, which something that we've been accustomed to seeing Ute Towns play in that role. Jacob Muir, when he's been in the team as well. Towns playing in a more advanced midfield role, but it's very strange seeing an Avondale midfield without Christian Trajewski out there, but we might see him in the second half, and I will just wonder, Adam, if the coaches might look to swing some changes and try and get some momentum going into the second half once we reach the interval. Just over 5 minutes until the players disappear down the tunnel and into the dressing rooms. And I don't think there'll be the need to add too much added time apart from the injury to George Ott. There's been very little delays to slow us down here. It's just been the players trying to create opportunities and really not able to force the goalkeepers into making too many, if any, saves so far in the first 40 minutes of this one.
So Mo playing in toward Fornaroli, but just beyond his reach in the end. Coyne clearing away for Hume City. And Coyne, who had not missed a start prior to last week. Late winner for Chris Englehart from the spot against Caroline Springs George Cross, which put a dagger into the Georgies' finals hopes, which aren't officially over. It does appear to be more than likely that Heidelberg will find their way into the 6. Fornaroli does finally get boot to ball. Chris Oldfield was up to the task, though. The defensive effort was really, really good by Kalinajar in the end. A corner for Avondale. Just got choked up there, Bruno Fornaroli.
Yeah, credit to Chris Oldfield there as well. He saved that with the inside of his right heel and manages to erect it around for a corner. So Can Avondale make of this opportunity? Mo's going to swing in the cross. Oldfield looking into the sun, decides to punch away, not taking any chances with the catch.
I was going to say he's been doing it for a very long time, Chris Oldfield. Loving that thick beard as well.
He looks like he's auditioning for maybe an appearance on Alone or something like that with that beard at the moment. 35 years young, Chris Oldfield. This one's over the top of the back post area. Jacoupy, chance for Wall. He just decides to float it in, and that's going to be easy pickings for the veteran goalkeeper. Good distribution as well. Puts it out in front of Max Wright, who's galloping forward. He's got Yusuf making the run into the right-hand channel. Yusuf cuts it across the face of goal, and there was no one there. Gibson was at full stretch, but even if he had fumbled, he only had for Kranis and no enemy raiders into the penalty area to worry about.
Inside the final 3 minutes of this first half. Some interesting scores around the grounds. Only 2 games left at 0-0. We're one of them. It's gone out for another Avondale corner here.
Andy City on the road at Jack Edwards in the lead against the Premiers. 2-1. And another side that's faced point deductions this year. You wonder if not for that, they could have been in a 3rd straight final series since they came up from the 2nd tier. Pretty impressive going for Nick Tolios' side.
They can pull these results against the big dogs, can't they? Dandenong City got themselves to a grand final to win that last year. It bounces across the goal face here. Kranis not close enough to the ball to get a shot away. Another ball comes in from Jacoupy. Then it's just tipped over the top and in. What a goal that is! To open the account. Adam Zimmerino. A deft touch that Chris Oldfield could do nothing about. 1-0 Avondale.
Well, great touch, Zimmerino. Credit to Jacoupy, who's been toiling down the right-hand side. Got a dangerous ball in. Zimmerino pretty happy with himself after that one, finding the top left-hand corner of the goal and nestling in the net. Chris Oldfield just looked helpless as it looped over his head. And Zimmerino gets his 2nd senior goal for Avondale in season 2026. Back in the squad and back with a bang, getting the opportunity to come on in the first half for the injured George Ott and making the absolute most of it. And Avondale should go into the halftime interval with a lead that they will feel is a deserved lead.
Didn't even start the game. He's our first scorer here today, Adam Zimmerino, the replacement for George Ott. And halfway mark of this first half. A perfect deflection that Chris Oldfield didn't really have a chance really to stop. I'm starting to generate a couple of corners, Avondale. It's a goal that in the scheme of things won't mean a hell of a lot. They are going to finish 3rd. Hume City is going to finish 2nd. But he will be happy with that. He's only started 6 games this year. I wonder if he's in the running for a start next week, Steve.
Maybe he will be. Maybe he's been that X factor. We're saying since coming on, they've looked more dangerous since he came onto the park, and he's been playing through a more central role. He's almost come into playing the exact role that George Ott was playing in the opening minutes. When I've seen him lining up for Avondale, he had a few opportunities early in the season. He was playing out wide, hugging the touchline. Perhaps using him as a number 10, playing in behind Fornaroli is maybe just the ticket. Launched forward by Kadua. Flick on was by Bingham. Wright couldn't bring it under his spell. Cleared away by Murphy Bennett. So just the added 2 minutes at the end of the first 45 here at Avenger Park, of which the first has already elapsed. And the only match where we haven't seen a goal in The 7 simultaneous kickoffs now is over at BT Connor Reserve, Preston and Altona, the 2 Macedonian clubs. Locked at 0-0. Achar has to hit it out wide, flicked on by Kadua towards Max Wright. Is there time for Hume to create a last-minute opportunity at the end of this first 45? Ite Town says, no, you shall not. Away by Coyne. Flicked on by White for Kranis' header. Back by O'Kane. And Adam Bavkar's seen enough for the first 45 in Senol NPL Victoria men's competition, round 26. It was a goal in the last minute of the first half by the first half substitute Adam Zimmerino on the 44th minute. Across from the right-hand side by Dylan Jacoupy. It was a deft touch. It's looped up in the air over the top of Chris Oldfield and perfectly nestling into the net. And that is the goal that separates the sides at half-time. Adam Sarakoglu, was Avondale deserving leaders, do you think, at half-time in this one?
Yeah, probably. Albeit, I think Hume City were happy to sit back and let Avondale dictate the terms for the most part. Hume did have a couple of patches as well, but most certainly looking more threatening in taking their shots has definitely been Avondale, so it is a deserved 1-0 lead into the half-time break, which we are going to take now. Steve Curtin just takes a seat in his little fold-out chair here in our commentary box. Half-time for the final game of the regular season. Final round of the regular season in Senol NPL Victoria. It is Avondale 1, Hume City 0.
Naked eye, it looked like it came off the juice at first. But you see it again. It's like that was vaguely what he was trying to do. I reckon it's the other. Cigarette, I reckon. Oh, that's all. There we go. It's got to be right to come. Yeah, left side. The way it did respond to coming off, whatever it came off, it did seem a bit shouldery actually. Well, hello and welcome back to Avenger Park. It is the Senol NPL Victoria Men's Competition, round 26, the final day of the season proper. And it's Adam Zimmerino's header that gives Avondale a 1-0 advantage at the halftime interval. And it's Jonathan Germano making one change at halftime, and it's in midfield. Yusei Towns is the player coming off for Christian Trycheski. Both of these sides very heavily rotated as they prepare for finals football, and well, perhaps maybe they'll meet each other in a couple of weeks in a prelim. That remains to be seen, but at the moment it is Avondale leading here at Avenger Park, a venue that Hume City are still yet to find a win at in their history of playing here. So it's a record that I think got a little bit of work ahead of them if they want to try and break that duck today. But thanks for your company for the second 45. I'm Steve Curtin, and alongside me, welcome back to the gantry for the second 45, Adam Sarakoglu.
Thank you, Stephen. 45 more minutes left in the regular season for these two. They have got more to come. Hume City will finish second. Avondale will finish third. And as mentioned, it's quite possible that Hume's next opponent in a fortnight from now will be Avondale. Avondale likely to be playing either Heidelberg, potentially Preston. With all the other fixtures going on, the foul given away by our scorer, Zimmerino. You mentioned the header. It was almost more of a shoulder, sort of skimming job over the shoulder and into the back of the net.
We might need to use the AFL score review technology to get the zoom-ins there to see what part of the body that came off. Maybe the snicker as well, Adam. But yeah, it was...
he was definitely claiming it.
He was pretty happy about it too. He was shoulder to shoulder with Munir Badous, and yeah, it's just taken a very, very handy touch as far as Avondale were concerned. Not so handy as far as Hume were concerned. So it's Hume that got the 3 points in their first meeting this season. Avondale in the box seat to get the points this afternoon. A long way to go, and Hume with plenty of handy artillery to bring on in the shape of Godfrey de Ballet and Adisu Bayou at some point in this second 45. But it's Avondale with the corner kick opportunity over near the turnstiles and the merchandise stand over there. Saad Mukashar looking to deliver this one. Looking for Marcus Kranis perhaps as some of the tall timber. It's a header by Coyne, away partially by Kerdar, and it's out of play for a throw, and it's going to go the way of Hume City, so they can just get possession of the ball and work their way up the park as they attack the city end of Avenger Park in this second 45.
Hume in a 3-game winning streak have been scoring at will of late. They had a little blip about a month or so ago. They've recovered that. Such a great result for the club to finish in the top two, get that week off. Now we're in the running for the Premier's Plate. Up until last week, Coakley settled that over against the Dandenong Thunder, who are, well, they're just about wound it up, I think, for the year. They are having a bit of a shocker. Dandenong Thunder around the grounds today. Chance here for Bingham. Nice save there from Gibson. Bingham then went flying. Still a live ball here. Ball's going to come back to right. Bingham finally back up on his feet. Nothing ball in from right, though. Avondale are going to get away with it. Bit of early drama in this second half. Fornaroli was outnumbered with the defender on either side. Kadua down the line for O'Kane. Has plenty of space as well, O'Kane. Youssef was making the run. O'Kane went wider. Wright will be the one to play in. There's no one at the back post in red. But it will be chased down by Munir Badous. Here will go once more. Low ball in. The ball actually hit Adam Bathka there. And he blew the whistle.
Well, Anthony Youssef wasn't too far away at the back post there. Decent ball in from the right-hand side for Hume. It comes to nothing. That previous moment, it was the two big men, Bingham and Kranis. They came together and they almost went down together in slow motion like a captain nobly going down with his ship as they contacted each other in an amusing sequence in this second 45 on the final day of the season proper here at Avenger Park. Here's Kalen Achar. He's been fairly handy getting his chance to play in the centre of the back four alongside Aidan Coyne this afternoon. There's the young Kalen Achar, still only 19 years of age. 3 senior appearances with Hume last year. Trying to build on that this year is the youngster. O'Kane. Kadua. Just about given the don't argue by Zimmerino, who puts the block in, and it's going to almost break for Fornaroli. It's a real rainmaker from Chris Oldfield. Flicked on by Mukashar. Back to Fakranis. Jakupi, who's had a busy day, the right back. Skips past his man Anthony Youssef. Full head of steam up, and he's going to supply it to Ayuk Mo. Across the face. The header was by Achar. Zimmerino now. The only goal scorer this afternoon. And it's going to be out of play right in front of our broadcast position on the Tullamarine Freeway side of the venue here at Avenger Park in Parkville. Steve Curtin and Adam Sarakoglu with you for this one. This venue that Hume City have never managed to muster up a winner. Not looking like doing it just at the moment. Plenty of time to go still in this one. We've gone through 5 minutes of the second stanza here. And Christian Trycheski, the player who came on at half-time, just getting himself more and more involved in the game. Bit of space here for Dylan Jakupi. And the veteran's going to play it across the face. Fornaroli couldn't direct it goal bound. Contact was coming in from Aidan Coyne. Foul awarded, which would have been a spot kick in that case. Mukashar trying to find space for the shot. He was well closed down by Josh O'Kane. Mukashar again, he's been busy in the opening minutes of their second 45. Trycheski. It's Hume sitting deep in front of Chris Oldfield's goal, inviting pressure. Trycheski maybe too far out to shoot. He tries his luck, it's deflected. Max Wright getting back. He decides to keep it in play. Is that a dangerous move? Trycheski's there again. Still he goes, Trycheski. Traore trying to get a foot in. And Hume just about playing with fire there, Adam.
Lively start to this second half at Avenger Park. Top 3 battle, albeit not playing for a hell of a lot today. Zimmerino. And then Traore getting involved as well. Little back flick, comes back to Adama Traore. Head in hands. Their chances are starting to pile up. Bruno Fornaroli having a conversation with Adam Bavka after he felt that maybe he was infringed upon on the goal line before. Could so easily have been 2-0. But it stays 1-0.
It really should have been 2 there. Playing with the experience of Adama Traore. That close to goal, only around 12 yards out. He's never really set himself with the first touch and has taken the strike off balance on that preferred left foot.
Berkan Kurta on the ball here. Mo just mistimed his challenge really on Berkan Kurta. The throw to be taken by Unibadus. Tried to pick out Bingham, cleared away by Fakranis. Over the top of the club rooms. Maybe landed on the front porch of one of those coloured units here at Parkville. Paperwork going over to the fourth official. Laz Pantelides is out, fourth official. Coming from the Hume side, it looks like it'll be a double move coming up. They've still got the same 11 that started the game. A couple of handy players on the bench today, Steve, that we spoke of, in particular Disu Bayu and Godfrey Tabale. Arjun Kavak, the youngster, Naiki Tsukamoto. Abdullah Tafria could make a senior debut as well of the under-18 program. Damon Camilleri, the backup keeper. It's a day where we could see keeper changes, obviously.
Can't rule it out.
Yeah.
Maybe Michael Weir even could get a look in, perhaps for Avondale as well. He hasn't made an appearance since coming across from Green Gully in the mid-season. So that double change is in the hands of fourth official Lazaros Pantelides for Hume City. Looks like Steve White and Josh Bingham are the players coming off. Here's Max Wright. Mooney Badus all the way back. Kaylin Achar. He's looked calm and composed on the ball, has the youngster in central defence this afternoon. Adus playing it forward. Well read Jakupi. Second player we haven't seen too much, but he's been quite solid in that right back role this afternoon. They've had one or two issues with different players in that role. Wellsmore, Lundy, Bennett, sort of hard to decide. Jakupi the other option, but we're going to see that change now. So coming on, Eiki Tsukamoto in the number 21 and in the number 19, Baronsem Kavak. Kavak has scored a couple of goals this season in the Cup. None in the league. Tsukamoto hasn't troubled the scorers this season. He scored 3 for the Eastern Lions in second tier last year. I thought we might have seen Godfrey DeBelle brought onto the field there, Adam, with Josh Bingham coming off. Always a fun player to watch when he's out there and gets a full head of steam up, charging forward with the ball. But we'll have to just bide our time a little longer for the inclusion of the Hume City number 9.
Still some handy players on the bench for both sides. Still got Blake Carpenter, Emlyn Wellsmore, Max Green on the bench for Avondale. Dama Traore into the middle of the pitch, just beyond the reach of Franceschi. And taken away by Moody Badus. Kurta on the back foot with Mukasha right on him. Franceschi reclaims it for Avondale. Going straight down the line, Jakupi's working hard down this right flank. Met by Kaylin Achar. Avondale ball. As it comes to Okmo. A 1-0 lead courtesy of Adam Zimmerino, who came on for the injured George Ott. About halfway through the first half. He may well get a start next week. A bit of byplay between Max Wright and Adama Traore. Max Wright just telling Traore to get up. Not happy with the treatment. Will claim the ball though. Adam Bavka is our referee. Couple more changes now coming for Avondale. Blake Carpenter is receiving some final instructions now. There will be a double change. Emlyn Wellsmore is going to be coming on shortly as well for the Avengers, holding a 1-0 lead. Jakupi has put in a lot of work into this game so far, just lobbed it, hoping that either Zimmerino or Fornaroli could get on the end of it, but Oldfield collecting it easily for Hume City. Ball to be won. Sliding effort was good from Wright. Gets it from O'Kane. Max Wright cutting back. O'Kane could have maybe gone first time just about. Maybe he was wrong-footed. He lost control in the end. It got away from him. Fornaroli just trying to buy a bit of time back toward Jakupi, who lobs one into some space for Zimmerino. Asking for it is Fornaroli. Zimmerino found him. First touch is a bit too heavy though, taken away by Char in the end. That was a dangerous moment with Avondale looking to double their lead. They have looked far more threatening throughout this fixture so far. Here come more changes for Avondale, with Emlyn Wellsmore and Blake Carpenter coming on. First player off, Dylan Jakupi. No major surprise there, perhaps.
Yeah, it's like a straight
second one.
Right back.
Yep. Adama Traore is coming off for Blake Carpenter.
So changes for both of the fullbacks for Jonathan Germano.
That leaves just Max Green now as the lone outfield option as a sub.
It's the second week in a row Jonathan Germano's subbed both of his fullbacks midway through the second half. Used to seeing players in the front four substituted more and more, but right backs and left backs are also in the gun as well sometimes. As you see, Mo in possession on the far side for Kranis. Murphy Bennett. Did he have his shirt tugged there by Baron Sam Kavak? Adam Bavkar thought so. Referee Adam Bavkar in the grass cats this afternoon, the hockey shoes. He picked him up from down at the Essendon Hockey Club down the road on the way here, apparently. Touch for Wellsmore. Little Wellsmore could be one of those wild card players in the finals. He's been so impressive in big games in the past, especially when he was overplaying under Chris Taylor at Oakley Cannons. Not the best pass there as it's blocked by Max Wright. Mukasha under a little bit of pressure from Josh O'Kane, who came in to give chase, but he managed to get the ball to Adam Zimmerino, and perhaps they could have played the advantage there, but Avondale probably won't mind too much as they can just take some more time off the clock here midway through this second half. We played almost 16 minutes since the halftime interval. Avondale leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of an Adam Zimmerino effort in the 44th minute, set up by Dylan Jacoupy, who has just departed the pitch. And the concern for Avondale fans is George Ott being subbed out in the first half with finals coming. That is some alarm bells ringing there. Mooney Badous is playing with the futsal skills in his own penalty area. Is this going to be a costly decision here as Avondale looking to cue it up here for Fornaroli? Smacked away by Kota Kadua. It's flicked on by Kavak. Looks like Barensham Kavak is playing as the most advanced player since the withdrawal of Josh Bingham. Mo puts it out in front of Bruno Fornaroli. His first touch went behind him. He gets it back out of his feet again. Here comes Ayuk Mo. Gets to the byline and cuts it back. Oldfield, with the reflexes of a cat, puts it behind for an Avondale corner.
Bit slippery underfoot. Fornaroli just took a little slip there at the top of the box. And that just held him up enough, really.
Yeah, the pitch, while it looks okay on the surface, it's got a few issues at this time of year, as you might come to expect. Plenty of excess where it's not a heavy track, but in racing parlance, Adam, it might be a dead 5 or a dead 6 as Carpenter prepares to take the short corner. Trycheski's there in support. Carpenter again, and now Mo, and Mo's ball is just a straight up turnover to Max Wright, and Kurdar's had his shirt pulled there. We might get the first yellow card of the afternoon for that professional foul by Mo, who in response to seeing the slice of cheese goes to the grounds to stretch out the hammies at the fear of a cramp kicking in here. Mo, he hasn't had this many match minutes for a while, and maybe he's just starting to feel the pinch of it.
Fourth yellow of the season. A couple of handsy inclusions into the game now for Hume City coming up. Godfrey Tabele is going to be joined by Disu Bayu. 17 league goals between that combo. We're going to have a little stoppage in play here. Mo still down for Avondale. So we're beyond the hour mark, the final day of the season. We'll see the changes come in. Burkhard Kurda is going to be coming off for Bayu. And the second move is going to be Anthony Youssef, who will be replaced by Godfrey Tabele. We now have goals in all of the fixtures around the grounds. Preston have taken a 1-0 lead against Altona Magic. Caroline Springs a 1-0 lead over South Melbourne. And Heidelberg, playing against 10 Bentley men, have a 2-0 lead. All those teams in and around the bottom part of the 6 and vying for a spot in the 6, holding leads. Around Senol NPL Victoria on the final day of the regular season. Mo's going to come to the sidelines. Already an injury concern for George Ott, as we know, for Jonathan Gamano.
Yeah, Max Green has been readied, although he's just sat back down on the bench again. So maybe they're going to get Mo back out there for another 5 minutes or so. And you fancy Max Green will be an obvious straight swap when they decide to pull the trigger on that change for Mo, who looks like he's just running out of legs in the 65th minute of this one. Kadua giving chase, closing him down was Patrick Wall. Patrick Wall into the area. It's well-managed defensive action there by Aidan Coyne. Patrick Wall just showing him too much of the football. And play at the quality of Aidan Coyne. It's a pretty simple challenge. And it comes from Carpenter. Oh, it's loose there for Bennett. Oldfield commits himself. Trycheski tries the dink. Hume have got to try and clear their lines here. And they're going to get the free kick going their way this time. Patrick Wall sliding in on Aiki Tsukamoto. Well, definitely the juniors that have come along to watch today are certainly enjoying it. They must have been handing out air horns in the car park, I think, this afternoon on the way into this venue.
Sounds like South Africa 2010 here today.
It's not quite the Vuvuzela pitch, but it's certainly rivaling that in terms of amount of horns that are blowing all at once down behind that goal. Definitely a good choice not to stick the effects mark behind the goal today. That would have been disastrous. Here's a chance for Hume to come forward through Achar. Adisibai, the substitute, unable to profit from the long ball.
It's one of the advantages of having day kickoffs because they're not overly common in the NPL, but it's obviously a friendly fixture for families and the kids to come and watch. Hume have gone with I think it's 2 p.m. Saturday kickoffs for the most part this year. Normally a Friday night team, Hume City. That change has seemingly worked for them.
It's good to spread those kickoffs across different times of the weekend to maximise the opportunities to tune into the live streams, which are doing great numbers again this year as Hume look to try and get forward again through Kavak. Looking for DeBelle, who's trying to imprint himself onto the game. Here's Tsukamoto. Good touch. He sold 2 Avondale players a dummy there, and he can play it out to Wright, who's wide left. Max Wright, he's got Mooney Badus in support. He gets the ball into the box. Looking for a couple of targets in there, including Josh O'Kane. It was cleared away by that wall of royal blue shirts, and Trycheski can try and pick out Wall. He wasn't able to play the Wall pass. Bayou. 1-2 with Wright down that left-hand side. Wellsmore, he's done pretty well there, and he's found Mukashar. Throws the step over and gets past Wright. Lovely square ball, a little bit of space here for Zimmerino. The only goal scorer this afternoon. He's got Fornaroli looking for his 23rd of the season, but he decides to go the unselfish route, and well, maybe it would have been better going for a shot there because that pass was way off target, not something you expect to see from the 38-year-old veteran. Ayuk Mo in a bit of trouble, so I think it is Max Green time here. He's worked hard behind the scenes. He started the season outside of the starting 11, and he spent most of the recent weeks in the starting 11 as Max Green. And the trainer is out there confirming that change will need to happen, so Ayuk Mo, hopefully this is not an injury concern for him, more a case of cramping up perhaps from the hard running he's been doing. I'm quite sure what the signal from the trainer out there, Lyndon Lee, to the bench exactly means, other than the fact that he's holding that left hammy there. That's a little bit of a concern. So, as we said, we've already seen George Ott go off with an injury. Just some concerns over George Ott's left knee, and now it's Ayuk Mo, who's not heading to the bench. Looks like he's heading straight up the tunnel. Oh no, fool me once, fool me twice. He's going to head around the bench, around the boundary to the bench. So a chance for Max Green to get on and impress. He'll fancy himself to be in that starting 11 next week when they go in full strength for a home elimination final. It looks like it's going to be against the Preston Lions based on that point deduction that they've recently had. We'll drop them down into 6th, and then the other elimination final as it stands looks like being South Melbourne versus Heidelberg, a rematch of that game that we saw just last Sunday. Kadua to Ballet in that wide right area. Used to seeing Ballet playing exclusively through the middle. Tsukamoto losing his footing there was a deuce, nipping in Mukashar. And it's a bit of defending again from Achar, coming out of that central defensive position to make the intervention. No nonsense from him. Deuce's header, picked up by Josh O'Kane. Such a good player for Hume last year. Good to see him back in there again this year, but just not looking quite at that same standard he found himself at last year. Achar, fully committed, was Kalen Achar. Gives away the throw. Is he feeling the pinch too? It's a sunny day out there. It's not overly hot. It's only 16 degrees, but players do seem to be having some issues with cramp out there midway through this second half. Inside 20 minutes to go. It's one of those final day of the season matches that's been a bit of a slow burn. Will there be a spark to ignite this last 20 minutes here? Will Avondale just comfortably sit on this 1-0 lead that they have courtesy of substitute Adam Zimmerino's goal? St Albans have a 5th over at Churchill Reserve against Dandenong Thunder. Melbourne City still leading Green Gully by a 0-0 against those relegated Cavaliers. It's Preston Lions. A goal to the good against Altona Magic. Altona just sitting that one place outside of the relegation zone, but that's all that matters. As long as you're outside, that's A-OK. Caroline Springs, George Cross out at Fraser Rise, leading South Melbourne by a 0-0. Heidelberg 2-0 currently over a 10-man Bentley Green side that will be relegated today. And Oakley trailing at home 3-1 against Dandenong City.
With first place locked away. So with those results as it stands, it would be Heidelberg coming here next week to take on Avondale. And we'll have yet another big show as well, which as it stands would be hosted by Preston against South Melbourne. Huge elimination finals coming up next week in Senol NPL Victoria. You can watch it all here on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. 5 huge games to decide a champion this season. And Heidelberg still in the running to defend their crown. Avondale still pressing for their second goal. It's away from Zimmerino this time though. And O'Kane looking to take it away. Bayou, what a season he's had. Got to have a little rest on the bench to start this game today. All the Hume players will get a rest next week. Finishing in the top 2, Zimmerino weighs the heavy challenge and put Tsukamoto into the deck here at Avenger Park, which is looking a little heavy. There was some rain around Thursday and Friday here in Melbourne. And we'll be hosting elimination final action next week. The long ball coming in from Bayou to Ballet over on the other side. It's tipped out for a Hume City corner. So we've got 16 and a half minutes before we reach the 90. Some injury concerns for Avondale, with both Yukmal and George Ott coming out of the game injured. As it stands, as I mentioned, it's looking like Heidelberg's going to finish 6th on the table and play Avondale next week. So here we go, the corner for Aki Tsukamoto. And it's a long one. The jump coming from Bayou. It's going to fall out the back to Carpenter. There's no one ahead here for Avondale. This ball just bounced away from Max Green. Making the run forward now is Patrick Wall. He's got a bit of space in front of him. Wall, DeBelle's going to close in. It's still with Patrick Wall. Trajewski in a bit more space in the box. Back to Wall. And Avondale just have to slightly reset this. Christian Trajewski. Still Godfrey DeBelle doing the defending here for Hume. Did it take a touch off DeBelle? It did not.
So the move comes to nothing again. Avondale surviving the Hume corner, taking up the other end of the pitch. Lacking the incisiveness again. It looked for a moment that Patrick Wall was going to be able to make that run in behind. So it's Hume looking to come forward again. Trying to put a challenge on Jack Gibson's goal. They haven't really done so in the second 45. And we've just got 15 minutes of regulation time to go. Can Hume manage to secure their first point here at Avenger Park since 2021 when they had that 3-3 draw? Had some classics between these two sides at this venue. This afternoon hasn't quite lived up to that, but there's still time. Carpenter can make the clearance here. Still time for some late drama in this one, that's for sure. And Mooney Badus is trying to get involved in the attack from left back. Wellsmore, the substitute, held his ground well. Straight to Max Wright. The boy from Grimsby swings it in. It's a little bit too low, away by Zimmerino. Tsukamoto. This is a better spell here for Hume. Right with the cross. It bounces in the box and coming off his line very effectively was Gibson. Good duel here. Coyne going to ground. He had a grab of Fornaroli's shirt and he's going to go into the book here. That's a pretty easy decision for Adam Bavkar to make. You can see Aidan Coyne is blaming losing his footing for the reason why he had to make the grab on the back of Fornaroli's shirt. Just a nervy moment when he was exposed by the space behind him. Instructions coming from the sidelines from Jonathan Germano. He was a part of the Avondale over 35s that won the Northwest West region title last night. Shane Rex Heppy also involved in that side. Dimitri, the social media manager here, also doing some of the work in the dugout as the coach for that team. And congratulations to them. Avondale's women will be in action in the NPLW in the final round of the home and away Super Sunday in the NPL Women's tomorrow. One of those matches happening simultaneously tomorrow afternoon, as was the case this afternoon. Patrick Wall is charging forward here, trying to show a clean pair of heels to Mooney Badus, but the ball is harmlessly through to Chris Oldfield, who shows a bit of urgency to get us going again here for Hume.
Aidan Coyne, by the way, picked up a 5th yellow card of the season a fortnight ago against Heidelberg and sat out last week, so he's now on 6 for the season. Throw to be taken by Kota Kadua. 12 minutes remaining in the regular season for Senol NPL Victoria. Big 3 weeks coming up. Grand final had been announced. I think it's a multiple year deal at Lakeside Stadium. But you never know, Steve. That could help South a little bit, maybe. It has been locked in.
Will other clubs be crying foul if South Melbourne's able to make it?
It was announced before the season even started. I mean, you can't cry foul now. You know it's a possibility before we even kick a ball in anger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was such a great success. I mean, you were there last year, obviously. Such a great success.
It was a great night last year. The noise, and atmosphere, and colour.
It's where it needs to be. At the Doherty Cup final there, obviously a couple of weeks ago as well. That's not a bad effort from range. Adus missing in the end.
Good technique. Just couldn't keep it down.
Yeah, South or no South, it has to be there. And has been announced for the next 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, that great, picturesque venue. Looks great on TV for fans viewing from afar. centrally located for supporters to come along and be a part of. Access to hospitality nearby, public transport, you name it.
They are down 1-0 to Caroline Springs George Cross right now, though, which means if they are playing Preston in the big show next week, that will be at BT Connor and not Lakeside. And as it currently stands,
unless, of course, the point deduction situation has changed that again since... I'm still second-guessing myself, I have to say.
Well, I'm relying on Dribble for my information right now, so if I'm trusting Dribble, it would be Preston finishing above South on goal difference. Preston,
wow.
I mean, technically have amassed enough points to finish second this season. They could be fighting with Hume to claim second spot today without the deductions. But Hume will take the week off, that's for sure. Into the final 10 minutes of regulation here at Avenger Park. Wellsmore under a fair bit of pressure here, still going at it against Barrington Kavak. It's going to fall back to Max Green. Now Murphy Bennett. Different dynamic now for Hume City under Nick Hegarty. They are not used to finishing this high in the league. They've made some great cup runs over the years, played in big games. They've played in plenty of finals in the league as well. Let's see if Fornaroli can get on the end of this ball. He can't. It's a searching ball from Blake Carpenter. Tsukamoto just guiding it through to O'Kane. He's under a fair bit of pressure, O'Kane. Found the escape hatch in the end. So they're no strangers to finals, Hume City, but they are strangers to hosting them and getting the week off. They are officially just one win away from a grand final appearance.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll be looking to host that preliminary final at their new customary 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon kickoff time, or if there'll be pressure to maybe play it in an evening time to get maximum exposure, so everyone who's at state league games or junior football can get out there and be there for an evening kickoff.
If Preston's hosting the big show, what kickoff can we expect there? If that's the matchup next week. Because that's hard to predict as well, isn't it?
Great question. A great crowd in for that one last time they met during the week in the Cup. South Melbourne with a bit of a possible Cup hangover out at Fraser Rise at the moment. Here's Max Green, the substitute. Ball just ran a little bit too far ahead of him. He tries to get the 1-2 back off Fornaroli. It's cleared away by that Hume defence. Opportunity here for Kavak. Trying to combine with Debele. Debele really hasn't been able to get his foot on the ball since coming on. Tsukamoto out wide as right. Disubayo, another player who hasn't really put his imprint on the game since coming on. Possession for Achar. A deuce. Tsukamoto is sitting so deep in the midfield, he's almost sitting between the two central defenders in Achar and Coyne. Here is Coyne in possession. His passes almost to referee Adam Babcock. Tsukamoto had to stretch to get there, and they've turned it over. And here's a chance for Patrick Wall to run at that Hume defence. Can Avondale make it a second and double their lead? Fornaroli looking for that elusive goal 23. Will he lay it off? He's got Zimmerino in support. In the end, it's a disappointing outcome for Avondale. Bennett, now Carpenter. Him just content to sit behind the ball. Carpenter! It's another wonder goal in 2026 for Blake Carpenter. He's just lashed that with the left foot, and it's brilliantly done by the left back. What a goal by Blake Carpenter. His highlights reel this season is growing and growing. Well, it's a game that needed a spark, and Blake Carpenter has come off the bench to deliver just that. It's his 5th of the season, and the boy from South Australia is lighting up Victorian football once again in 2026.
The reference 2010 again. That ball moved like the Jubilani, didn't it? That was going all sorts of directions. Such an awkward ball for Chris Oldfield. What a goal.
You could just see off the boot that Oldfield was in a whole world of trouble as soon as that one was fizzing through the air. The trajectory of it, he was never going to be able to get there, despite his positioning not being bad at all. And that might be game done for Hume. Avondale doubling their lead. Zimmerino, and now a stunner from Blake Carpenter. It's a very similar position on the park to where he scored the wonder goal out at Olympic Village. It's an awfully long way out.
Well, while there's injury concerns for Avondale, this will be a confidence booster. They love this fixture at this venue. Hume City again struggling at Avenger Park, with the caveat of this game not really meaning anything to them. They are guaranteed to finish second. And goal difference pretty much already had Avondale locked into third. Carpenter guiding it toward Tracheski and then looped over the top by Green. Some fancy stuff out there now. A couple of volleys. Bruno Fornaroli with a smile on his face as he just backheeled a little volley back. And he's one that's still scoreless here today, chasing goal number 23. Hume going to chase one here. Nick Keating not looking all that, not too plussed at all. He's rather comfortable.
I suppose he'll be thinking about preparing for a fortnight's time. They've got the week off. Hopefully a clean bill of health. Bring some players back in that haven't featured today.
There is some chance that it will be Avondale that they face in a fortnight as well. So Kane takes a cheap little foul from Tracheski.
Well, Hume will be glad that the match wouldn't be being played here, because this is a fifth straight loss in a row at this venue for Hume.
Prior to the win at home, the 3-0 win earlier this year, 2017, it was as far back as you had to go to find the last time that Hume had beaten Avondale. Avondale are searching for a third here. Ultimately, Wall had bitten off more than he could chew, taken away by O'Kane. Carpenter is blasting through, out wide for Green. Fornaroli goalless today. Zimmerino tried to turn and take the shot. Tracheski blocked on the way through.
You just feel the more that the ball is bouncing around in that part of the pitch, Fornaroli, who's scored a brace in his last two outings, it's almost getting more and more inevitable that he might add the exclamation point on the end of this win for Avondale.
They've been dangerous from corners today, Avondale. Don't rule them out to go all the way. Last year's premiership winners bundled out at the prelim final stage. Oakley have the Premier's plate this year. Even Oakley today in a bit of a strange result that's brewing around the grounds.
3-2 is the score over there.
It's probably not too strange given out they're playing last year's grand finalists.
Yeah.
Dandenong City. They do show up in the big games every now and then, Dandenong City. Tabele! Gibson took a bit of the ball. It's gone up in the air and over.
That could have gone anywhere.
And writhing in pain on the deck is Marcus Procranus now. Inside the final 2 minutes. They can't afford any more injuries, Avondale. Sure, he's fine. It is a corner for Hume City.
With the injuries that Avondale have had today, George Ott, possibly Mo, we don't know his condition, but Avondale have been looking forward to the full-time whistle.
Altona have equalised against Preston.
Get the abacus out, Adam. We'll have to try and go through those permutations again.
Right now, let's look at the corner here for Maki Tsukamoto. In it comes. The header is over the top. Max Wright's been battling hard all day. It is still Avondale 2, Hume City 0.
That was a good delivery on the corner kick. All players looking into the sun. Good connection and good technique from Max Wright. Just didn't get himself up and over the top half of the football to be able to control it down under the crossbar.
That goal for Altona, what that would do, that would send the big show to Lakeside Stadium next week. South Melbourne is still trailing Caroline Springs George Cross. Steve Curtin just running the numbers now. 3 minutes. There's a number for you. 3 minutes to end this fixture. It's been another dramatic season in Senol NPL Victoria. Probably marked. There's been a lot of blowout results this year, a lot of high scoring. Talked a little bit earlier, Steve, about how a lot of these fixtures today not meaning a hell of a lot, mainly because of goal difference. There's such wild differences in goal difference across the league. And it's goal difference that basically locked Avondale into third here today, or theoretically it wasn't a guarantee. If Roll is surrounded by red-shirted defenders. Bayou, is that a foul by Saad Mukacha? It is. Inside stoppage time now at Avenger Park.
So Preston Lions going into the round on 38. They'll go to 39. And we'll have Heidelberg going into the round on 37. We'll go on to 40.
Ah, yes.
South Melbourne on 41 will stay on 41. So if those figures are right, South Melbourne in 4th on 41, Heidelberg United in 5th on 40, Preston with that 12-point deduction, if this is right, in 6th on 39.
Right. So has Altona's equaliser sent Preston here next week?
Yes.
There you go.
I haven't factored in the goal difference again as well.
Get on the dribble up. Have a look for yourselves, guys, as the results come in today. Hume still searching for a goal. Jack Gibson had an awkward moment there. The ballet closing in. Gibson right on the edge of the area. Managed to get it away in the ants. There's an injured Hume City player right in the middle of the pitch.
Not good news here for Hume. They've played around 2.5 minutes of the added 3. So this is virtually the last action of the game here is for the Hume trainer to come out onto the park. Now, is it Kaylin Achar who's the player who's gone down? He's had a real crack this afternoon in central defence. A makeshift look about this central defence for Hume today. No Taylor Shrivers, no Zahi Addis, no Braden Spink. Some really big outs in the back four for Nick Hegarty's side today. None of those players in the squad at all. It's, the treatment is consisting of the pickle juice here, so hopefully it's, again, another cramp situation here for the 19-year-old, Kaylin Ashar.
They've gone full time at BT Connor. Preston Lions 1, Altona Magic 1.
Yes, that should see Preston finish on 39 points. South Melbourne, if we've got a full timeout at Fraser Rise, we don't. So South Melbourne still trailing by a goal to nil. Caroline Springs, George Cross, they'll feel a bit hard done by. They've got the win, they've done their end of the bargain, but Heidelberg, of course, getting that win against a now relegated Bentley Greenside. 10-man Bentley Greenside. That match still not completed, though, but it is a 2-goal cushion. Bentley down to 10 in injury time. What have Hume got up their sleeve? Have they got a goal to leave Avenger Park with some respectability at this venue that's been a great graveyard for them since they started coming here in 2017. And it's 5 straight wins over Hume at this venue for Avondale. They win by, in the end, a comfortable 2-goal margin. A wonderful goal from Blake Carpenter to seal the match after Adam Zimmerino opened the scoring on 44 minutes. But the memorable moment of today, Adam, is probably that strike from Blake Carpenter, who come off the bench and he gave a spark to a game that desperately needed it. Unlike your match last week out at George Andrews, the sparks were from the football, not from the fuse box.
I think both goals were really good today, but yeah, Blake Carpenter, he was quite happy with his work. That was a beautiful goal that he scored, but the first half goal as well for Adam Zimmerino, that was not long before half-time. That was a lovely little touch as well. That has seen Avondale take a 2-0 win. They will finish the season third on the table, their 15th win of the season. And well, as it stands, we think Steve Curtin will be playing Preston this time here next week.
Yeah, and what a match that'll be. As we looked up, the way that match played out last time, it was Suto for Preston scoring a goal. It was like the 98th minute of added time for a 3-2 win. They led 2-1 that match in stoppage time that afternoon, did Avondale. So one of the few sides to come here and get a win this season against the team with the best home record in the competition.
Also think as well, if Preston does finish 6th, that means Hume City will avoid Preston in their prelim, I believe, as well, with the way the final system will shake out. Anyway, stay tuned to FE Dribble. The fixtures will come out, a lot of permutations. It's going to be a huge 3 weeks coming up. But the regular season is done for 2026 in Senol NPL Victoria. And 2 nice goals here today for Adam Zimmerino and Blake Carpenter that give Avondale a 2-0 win. But the big injury concerns now for George Ott and Ayuk Mo as well. Both subbed out with injury in this fixture. We think Hume City have come through clean.
Yeah, particularly George Ott, that's the concern. Going down, favouring his knee. The trainer was giving the investigations too. So, yeah, can he get back up and play again this time next week, potentially, when Avondale might look to want to play their home fixture? They could potentially play it on a Sunday afternoon, potentially. It won't be a night game. There's no night games here at Avenger Park, so that'll be the question. So, no real outstanding performers on either side this afternoon. Might be hard to work out the votes later, Adam, but we'll do our best. But yeah, Hume, they can enjoy that. Looking forward to the week off and keeping an eye on the 2 elimination finals that will take place next weekend, with a view to looking forward to hosting a home final. And we haven't seen them hosting a home final in recent times, that's for sure. And last time they were in the finals a couple of years ago, we were there when they had a dramatic penalty shootout win against Heidelberg United. What a night that was. They'll be looking to try and recreate some moments just like that a couple of years ago, I think, Adam, in a fortnight's time.
That was in a thunderstorm as well. That was a highly dramatic night. But yes, we've got big 3 weeks coming up that we are very much looking forward to. So 7 fixtures just about in the books. A couple of games still live. 6-0 win for Dynamo over Dandenong Thunder. I wonder how long it'll be before we see Dandenong Thunder back in the top flight. It's been a very, very dramatic drop-off for them after finishing 3rd last year.
So confirming those relegated sides, Dandenong Thunder, Green Gully and Bentley Greens will join them. That match still yet to finish, but they are 2 goals down and they have an insurmountable amount of goal difference to make up.
It's just gone final
Greens,
now.
There we go, it is full time. So Bentley Greens will go down. So that top 6. The Premier's Plate winners, Oakley Cannons. In 2nd place, Hume City. And then rounding out the top 4, Avondale, South Melbourne, Heidelberg United and the Preston Lions. Looking forward to a big final series, Adam. It's going to be a beauty the next 3 weeks, and that big grand final day in 3 weeks later, happening at Lakeside Stadium on Saturday the 19th of September.
Check your local guides for the fixtures that are upcoming next week as well. 2 games next week, 2 the week after that, and the grand final, as Steve just mentioned. But Steve, that's us done from Avenger Park. Avondale get the win again against Hume City. They split their fixtures for the season. Adam Zimmerino and Blake Carpenter, your scorers. Steve Curtin, thank you.
Thanks for your company, Adam.
We are.
Thanks to you, the viewer at home.
Yep, we are done from Avenger Park. Avondale 2, Hume City 0.